I think that it's not a good game for Turkey, especially. And by the way, I just want to ask you, how is your opinion? Who has a worse situation among the EU countries now? Who had suffered more?
Yeah, if I look at my inflation numbers, which is the barometer that I use, the countries that are closest to Russia, surprise, surprise, like the Baltic
Mm.
countries, are taking a huge big hit because they were trading partners, because there is a political risk that is associated with them. So they are the ones that have the worst numbers. If you look at, debt to GDP, a
Mm.
country like Greece is
Mm.
at risk, but it's not a big risk because a lot of their borrowing is with quasi official institutions like the European Stability Mechanism. The other country that has a high debt to GDP is Italy, of course.
So
I'm
I'm
losing.
also worried. So it's a half of our loans is the US loans, and half is 50% is this is from eurozone. So it's
Mm.
also impact on currency rates. And my question is, what is the maximum inflation you see in Europe this year?
Hmm. Everything has been a surprise in terms of economic projections, in terms of inflation. So it's hard for me to say, but the official projections that we have put inflation at around 7% for 23. I will have to double check the numbers because I think I'm giving you a number which is a bit on the low side. It's probably a little
Mhm.
higher than that.
At this time, I think it's pretty hard to have right forecasts. You know, that situation is going unstable. So do you think is it possible to increase rates to 4% for ECB?
But that
In,
I wish I could tell you. I wish I had a crystal ball to say that, but I cannot say so for at this point in time. It's going to be a factor of impact of our action,
mm,
level of inflation, scope. Does it apply only to energy? Is it food? Is it services? We have multiple ways to measure inflation. What I know
mm,
is that interest rates will continue to rise
mm,
inevitably, but up
mm.
to what point, what will be the terminal rate? When will we reach the terminal rate? That I cannot tell you. I don't know.
My
Now,
economists
yeah,
my economist said that in negative forecast interest rates in ECB could reach 4%.
as I told you, I do not have currently a terminal rate nor a time when we reach terminal rate. The only thing I can tell you, and the economists who are advising you, and I'm sure that they are as competent and as honest as my economist, is that it needs to go higher than where we are at the moment, because
Mhm.
otherwise we will not manage to tame inflation.